Australia started administering COVID-19 vaccines later than much of the world, and one would hope that late start would see us benefit from the experience overseas. But far from that, we are not adopting best practice in terms of getting as many people vaccinated as quickly and safely as possible. Every state and territory has failed to meet the government's own targets. It's now highly unlikely that we'll reach the goal of having every adult immunised by October. And that will put in doubt plans to reopen the country and resume international travel. So far, around 130,000 Australians have received the vaccine, despite the rollout beginning 3 weeks ago. Contrast that with Israel, which managed to vaccinate 200,000 people a day, despite having less than half our population. It is now certain that Australia will miss the target of administering 4 million vaccines by March 31, and will miss that target by an enormous margin. But the political class and health bureaucrats are rather relaxed about Australia's glacial progress. We are told there is no urgency with a vaccine rollout. Health Department Secretary Brendan Murphy said it's not a race. Comments dutifully repeated by the Prime Minister and several state leaders. One wonders whether the politicians are running the country or unelected health officials who have a rather narrow focus on what constitutes success. Yes, Australia isn't riddled with COVID-19. But that is only because a country has effectively been cut off from the rest of the world for the past year. That has come with enormous costs. We have now unprecedented levels of government debt, and we've seen some sectors, including tourism, hospitality and higher education, utterly decimated. If you're a small business owner who has watched your life's work slowly destroyed, you'd hope there was a little more urgency from those in charge. It's no surprise that those with skin in the game feel differently than bureaucrats on full salaries with no fear of losing their livelihoods. We must dramatically accelerate the vaccine rollout. Australia simply cannot afford to remain a prison island cut off from the rest of the world. We don't have a COVID-19 crisis, but that should not be the only measure of success. And it's also time to reconsider the disproportionate power that public health officials are exercising at both state and the federal level. Politicians need to have the courage and judgment to make decisions on all the available evidence, not just be laser focused on one public health issue.